Good day, folks. Welcome to 406 Regen. Just getting up here, getting ready to move the sheepers and the cows. You can tell they're all just kind of lounging, enjoying the day. That'll change once I get the bale truck started up and unroll some hay over here for them. But it's a gorgeous day. We're greening up. By golly, we're greening up pretty good. So that's always nice. So yeah, I decided we're gonna be going that way now. Go over where I was gonna lamb them out at, but I think it should be back up to pretty good by the time they get ready to start lambing. So, because I was gonna have this area for lambing over here, falling down, then on this field out here behind the house. I'm glad that one's greening up as much as it did last summer when it was really hot and dry. I was moving them once a day, but out there in the center, it was not pretty. Yeah, it was way trampled, and it was just dust basically when they were over it. So I tried to move them quick, but still, it was pretty hard. They were pretty hard on it. And that was, I didn't even have my full number then. That was still only like 30 some. And I was moving them once a day. So, but yeah, I would imagine they're out of water at the moment. So I don't want to fill that up until I get them moved. And as you can tell, nobody's overly excited or anxious to do much anything. Lazy shits. Anyway. They seem to be all happy. Got a few of them. There's a few in here that are really starting to shed. Like that one there. She's starting to look ragged just because all the hair shedding off pretty hard. That one there almost looks like she's shedded the bottom half already. So, but yeah, there's some that are really starting to shed off, and other ones just kind of little late to the game. We'll see. That's kind of a quality. I want ones that are shedding, good shedders, so we'll see how it goes. But got this old bale truck, get it fired up and pick up twine you always see laying on the ground, because there's always some when you feed. Alright, I'll get this unrolled and start moving sheep. Alrighty, folks. Well, we got them moved. They're happily where they're at. So, I did manage to get the dog. Hi, dog. I did trim out this piece on the dog kennel. I don't know. I'll probably end up with some problems with a few lambs, but I just used just a grinder and cut out that T so the dogs can get down in there a lot quicker. Of course, I can't get my head down there with the camera because puppies. As you can see, the sheep are doing a bang up job on trying to de-shed on my dog kennel, but so far it's holding up, I guess. Like I said, I might run into some problems when we have some lambs. This is a pretty big hole for a lamb that I don't know. To start with, of course, the puppies won't be in with the lambs, so we'll see. Do my best to keep them out of there, but I might have to rework that. I know Greg and them, they run a board out and then put a board across, so they have to go down and make that U bend. I might have to redo that or something. Or possibly put in another pallet here and put in a jump hole for the dogs to jump into it. That's an option too. I'd have to put that pallet in though, because I couldn't have the dog. That's not a big enough area for the dog to be able to jump in, and it would be a hard landing for them to figure out. So I'd have to put another pallet down, which, I'm sure the dogs would love a bigger deck anyway. So They're happy. They haven't had their milk yet. They need their milk. And sunshine. We need sunshine. Yeah. So, that's what we're doing right now. Got them moved. Gonna see what I have to do. What other projects I come up with today to record. Not sure what that'll be just yet, but it's always something. Alrighty, folks. So, I'm gonna head up and get that fertilizer spreader. I did a quick vacuum in the cab here today. Vacuum, I didn't detail it out. It needs it. But have not done that yet. So, now we're recording the starting of a good case. Cold. Haven't touched her since Easter Sunday. So, gotta love them. Now, I gotta air up that tire again. So, then I'll be on my way to run up the road, get that spreader, and I'll bring you all along. Alrighty, folks, and we're off. Run up the neighbors. Get this manure spreader so we can. I need to put a new floor in it, and like I said in the previous video, I got a few corrals I need to clean up for some neighbors. Then I got some land that that little bit of ivermectin or whatever that's in the manure, it won't hurt the land. I mean, I can't really hurt that land anymore than it already is. So anything I can do to help improve production or anything is a step forward in the right direction at this point. Small step with ivermectin, I know, but it's still a step. So that's what we'll be doing. Like I said, I got some areas I'll be able to spread that out on. It'll be there's third. It'll be good. So I gotta run up, get this. I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with that back 40. As you can tell, I mean, stuff's greening up pretty good on me, and I don't know what I can do with it. I don't think I have access to any animals to put out there to trample it that fast. I don't know. I don't know if a mower, if I'd go out there and mow it down, and mow it high, to try to leave the new growth untouched and knock down the big stuff, and maybe if the wind didn't come up it would stay. I kinda highly doubt that. The wind always blows here, so I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with it. I don't just want to leave it and just let it grow either, because I want to get that covered down if I can. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet. If you guys have any good ideas on maybe what to do out there, put down in the comments, let me know. Because I don't know what to do, and spring's kind of getting to me. I'd like to be talking to guys some cover crop mix, and I'd surely like to buy a whole lot of seed. Just can't do it because I don't have the resources at the moment to do it, that much of it. I have some seed I bought, which is gonna be for my brother's wanting to try to raise his own chicken feed and possibly hog feed. I don't know, but hey, if we can raise some of it out here, that's a step forward, too. So, and if it really just doesn't, if it flops, it's still new seeds in the ground and more cover. So, I mean, it's a good experiment. It'll be exciting to see how that turns out. But I'm just gonna go ahead and run up to the neighbors on the road here, so I'm not gonna record it all. It's just a 2390 case. Needs a little bit of love, but she gets the job done. My brother and I picked her up in Kansas a couple years ago. Well, when we decided we had to plow up those back fields, we went and picked this one up. Now it's, at the moment it'll be the Balin, and it pulls a swing tongue swather. And if I do get some vermicast or foliar Johnson Sioux kind of worm castings and stuff to spray through that big sprayer out back, this is what pulls it. So I don't know. But as you can tell, it's greening up pretty decent across the countryside. Yeah. Hopefully we keep getting our moisture. We had that snow was a decent amount here the other day. The ground, I had to pull some T-posts today by hand. I didn't have no tools or nothing, so I just, pulled them out by hand. That moisture sure made that dirt stick and suck to those T-posts pretty good, so that's always a good sign. You're cussing it when you're trying to pull them out by hand, but it's a good sign that there's moisture there, right? So anyway, yeah, so I reckon I'm gonna grab a different gear to get up this road, and I'll let you guys know when I get there. Alright everybody, we went ahead and we got that hooked up, pulling down the road here, so yeah, and now the fun begins. You're gonna figure out how to take that the roller apart down there on the bottom of that floor, rip out that plywood, probably torch off the carriage bolts, go buy new ones. I imagine that they're all rusty and seized and not worth trying to take apart, so that'll be the plan here fairly quickly. So like I said, it's greening up pretty good out here. But we'll get there one day at a time now. Every day is getting a little bit warmer, a little bit greener. So it's nice. Hopefully, we end up with a good 5 months of green grass. That'd be nice. Yeah, tell you what, winter sure does get depressing when you don't ever get to see the green grass, especially out here in the last couple years in the drought. It's just been dry, brown, dead looking, and then you get the white, dead looking, and it gets a little depressing. But that's what's so fun about this regen, this practices, and what a person can actually do to a place turn around. And now obviously you need moisture to grow, but you don't need as much as people think you need to be able to have a good crop. Alejandro Carrero, I can't pronounce his last name. I can't remember exactly what it is. Down in Chihuahua, Mexico, he gets about 6 inches of rain every 18 months. Well, he's in a desert. But if you look him up on YouTube and you watch some of his talks that he's done with Gabe Brown, and he's and they've all been in that group, it's amazing what he's been able to do on his place, turning around down there in the desert. The neighbor's place is very sparse on grass. What's the old joke? Jackrabbit would have to pack a lunch to make it across there. But his place, he's got 6 foot tall grass. It all comes down to management, which is really cool. So hitting this drought when we're first starting out, it really kind of stinks, because it chomping at the bit to get going and seeing improvements and all that, and it's really slowed us up, because you really can't. I'm not going to say you can't improve during the drought, because when we started the management practices and the moving daily, that's an improvement all in itself. That's in the long term, that's going to pay off. You just don't see it right away. So you got to keep your spirits up and keep going to seminars, keep listening to people. If you find yourself driving a lot, listen to podcasts. If you find yourself in a tractor, make sure the radio works, listen to a podcast. Or, well, you don't even have to make sure the radio works. Get yourself a set of earbuds, put them in, use your phone, listen to podcasts, listen to YouTube seminars, webinars. Try to gain as much information as you can. Always try to be gaining information. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn and also put out the information I know and get corrected on it if I'm wrong and learn from that. Because if you do, if you're at the point in your life where everything you do is 100% right and correct, you're A, not trying hard enough, or B, you're being blind to what you think is, to what is actually happening. Because if you get to the point where you're 100% proficient at anything, you got to stretch your boundaries out, get into that uncomfortable zone, and get better. And there's always something to get better at. So, anyway, just a little quick chat. Like I said, got the floor to replace that. It doesn't actually look too bad from here, but you can use some work, so that's what we'll do. And yeah, keep moving sheep, keep going on. So I'll get home, get this parked somewhere where I kind of want it, to where I can start working on it and go from there. So yeah. When I get the manure spread out, it'll most likely be out here on these fields, right here. Unfortunately, I'm still gonna have to hay here for a year or two. So, you know, anything I can do to try to help out the ground there, but it's gonna get hayed yet. And I'm not gonna be able to plant no seeds or nothing in up here. I'd love to be able to. Someone threw out a beer can. I'll have to pick that up in the car when I go by here. Yeah, I'd love to be able to seed the whole place, but I just can't do that, so I gotta be selective of where I can put in my seed. Like I was saying, my brother's got 80 acres worth of seed he wants to try to plant for chicken feed. And I want to pick up some kind of cheap cover crop mix. Most likely be, you know, some sort of rye and I don't know, rapeseed or buckwheat or something like that, just to get on 120 acres about, I think. I've got my area picked out where I want to fence off for the summer for the sheep. It's about 170 acres, which right now, that amount of sheep I have, that'll last me all season. Especially if I was able to get in there and plant in a crop, some rye or something now that would shoot up real quick. You know, I'd give it a month to grow, and then I'd get out there and I'd start going across it with the sheep. And it should be pretty good that way. It really should. So, but I'm gonna have to go and do a pasture walk over there where the sheep, you know, the sheep were in the well house coulee, and where that white horse is at now. Well, the sheep were on this side of the fence. That white horse is on the other side. But they were out there. You can tell it's really green and up out there. So I'm gonna go walk out there. I got one spot out there where the shed this winter had to sit, where it was like 40 below for 3 weeks straight, and I wasn't able to move the animals, so I needed to get the tractor over there and the bucket, get that spread out. So now, where am I going to park this? I guess this way. Oh. And I got fencing projects like right there to finish off my gate entryway. Of course, I got plenty of high tents I got to put up. Like saying, I got about 170 acres out back. I have figured out where I want to move the animals to for the summer and into the fall. I should be able. That should be fairly obtainable to graze that for that long, especially if we have good moisture this year and I do get to plant in my cover crop seeds. I'll be able to run across it probably 2 times out there. That would be That'd be pretty cool. So, but yeah, now I still have, well, winter's not quite over yet, folks, but there's like 5 bales there that are good. These bales out here, I still want to go and on-roll out back on that one field. If I had some animals to get out there in a hurry, I'd be able to do it. I don't want to go out there and on-roll it and then not have nothing to trample it in and graze it. And I want all this picked up. All that loose stuff, that's going to be turned into a vermicast pile. So I'll be making one of those, and that won't be ready till next year, but that'll be a vermicast pile, which is very beneficial for everything. Quite frankly, I wish I had some of that to get in to put in with my seeds. If I do end up getting quite a bit of seeds, I'll have to go down to a rancher I know that's doing this regen stuff that has the vermicast pile and is willing to sell me some. So, if I can make it all work out. They're a couple 100 miles away, but in this state, everything's a couple 100 miles away, it seems like. So yeah, I'll go down and I'll get this parked up somewhere, probably about where I had it before I moved to here Easter Sunday. I would imagine the yard's kind of filled up now with some projects that kind of take my brother's doing. This is my project, so I'll park out of the way. As you can see, everybody's happy. The cow and the bull and the sheep, they're all integrated together now. There's no concerns with them now, so it's cool to see that all work out. And the puppies must be napping because they're not up against the fence. So that's kind of weird. But they were barking all night last night, so they got to sleep sometime, right? So I reckon that'll do it for me today. Oh, there they are. Way up there on the peak of the hill looking down here in the yard. Probably trying to figure out how to get to Mom's chickens. That'll do it for today, folks. Have a good one.